Yeah, as you can see here, we had a quick trip to Kentucky. Unfortunately, this bull had a little mix-up with the big bull, and he was lamed up. We actually didn't think he was going to make it at first, but we did our best to try to nurse him back to decent health, and it just didn't. It wasn't in the works. He didn't have any infections or anything like that, and I don't know that he was in any pain. He never really complained or moaned or carried on, but we got him to where he could move himself around. And by we, I mean my mom and Josh, pretty much, and my dad. Um, they did a really good job of getting him separated from everybody so he didn't get hurt worse. And then the object here is just to get him in the barn, get him settled down. Then we're going to put him in the trailer. He's on his way to um, freezer camp, we like to call it. He's um, probably 500 to 600 pounds. I really don't know. Um, but anytime you're working with animals, especially large animals, you want to take every precaution you can to keep from getting you hurt or getting them hurt or just being in a bad situation. Fortunately, everyone who was working with this little step of the project was experienced in this, and it really went together pretty good. I learned a long time ago. First time I ever had an encounter with a large animal, it was a calf. I was a young fellow. I was told to stand in the doors that he just went in. There was a walk-in door, and I was told to stand there, and if anything came, just to shoo it back, but don't move. And I got hit in the chest and went through the door as a young kid. And ultimately, it was a calf basically that did it, but it tripped over me and fell. And I learned then that getting animals excited, you put yourself in danger, you put them in danger, and everybody around you. Um, with the stick technique that I use, it's just a tobacco stick, and these animals are very very tough. Their skin's super thick, so um, if you just touch them behind the hind quarter or the front shoulder or around their neck or something, they'll turn away from that. That's it. They're just turning. It's not comfortable for them. It doesn't hurt them. Um, and with this one being lame, there's not a whole lot of ability for him to get one of his 4 feet off the ground at once. So getting kicked, it really isn't a huge danger, but they're still a very strong animal, and they can step on you, pinch you between something, or worse yet, hit you with their head. That's the to say somebody's bullheaded. That's not just a figure of speech. Like that's literally like getting hit with a small car or a motorcycle or something. Their necks are super powerful. Um, but we've this this is not our first rodeo. Um, like I said, everybody involved knows what steps to be taken, what's the next step, and we have the ability to efficiently get things done. Um, it's not the ideal situation, but we're not a large producer of beef. I feel like our situation, the way we're set up to move animals and to take care of animals, is by far the best, given the small scale that we operate in. We're not a huge beef farmer. We're just a small operation. Um, Special thanks to Dixie. That's her trailer. That trailer did a great job. Pool's really nice. Couldn't even tell it was back there, to be honest with you. Um, and it maneuvers really well. Everything was solid in it. You can tell the lights work and everything about that. Um, it was a really nice addition to the process. And those of you who don't know Dixie, Dixie is my mom's cousin, but um, as kids, my mom's cousins were kind of like our aunts. There was Jane, Alberta, and Dixie in that group, and
Yeah, because you're going to hit
by
that
far,
post.
um, I can't remember how old
You're
I was
two
when I finally
inches from
found
the
out that they
post.
weren't like direct blood related. I don't know. But my family in Kentucky is pretty much like, I mean, they are blood. I shouldn't say that, but
Pull that bungee cord around it.
they're beyond cousins. You know what I mean? They're really close. Like anytime you need something or anytime they need something, everybody we all work together. So it came in really well. It really did. And you can see here, basically, whatever you're putting the animals in, you just back them up. And there's two head catches there. You can't really see from this angle. There's a front one and a back one, so you can actually work two sets or two cattle at the same time. This works really nice when a calf has to get through with its mom. And the way the boards are set up there, basically that those timbers and the 4x4s, you just place them down below, right behind the hind legs of the animal, and they won't back up. And those boards are strong enough that they can't get out of there. They can't jump over them. They can't. I mean, I've seen them. I've been in a bad situation once, caught myself between the animal and the gates, and they squeeze you. You know, they push up against you, and it's not comfortable. It really isn't. But ultimately, the job is just to get the animal in the back of the equipment and then let them sit there and calm down a little bit.
Down here in Kentucky, I got an hour before. Got to have that cow over to it's going to freezer camp. So what we're going to do is move some hay. They got the hay baled. And when I'm down here, you got to make haste. I didn't make hay this time, actually, ironically enough. See if I remember how to drive this thing. I'll switch it around.
And the final part of it, right before we hauled that bull over to be processed, the final part, I asked Mom, you know, what's the most important thing you want to see get done? And she was like, I'd really like for the hay to be put up. Our hay is roll baled by people that we share. We don't really share crop. People provide a service. They look after the animals. They check on the animals. They bale the hay. Normally they put the hay away, but any part of that process that we can help with, we do. And then the payment for them is part of the product. You know, it's like, hey, help me make this cake. I'll give you a half of it or something. You know what I mean? And it's varied from person to person depending on what their needs were. Basically, my grandmother did it. My grandfather did it. My mom does it now, and it has benefited a lot of other families. Probably more than ours, to be honest with you. However, they're the ones doing the work. That's how it was explained to me. It's one of those lessons I learned as a young man when I complained about how these people I felt were taking advantage of my grandmother. She explained to me that they needed the help more than she did. And it was just one of those lessons that you learn, you know. Humility is it's a huge, huge lesson that everyone should learn, I believe. And for me, it was a tough one. But I'm gonna quit talking, and we're gonna speed it up here a little bit. So basically, you go pick up the hay, you take it up, you strategically place it in a position so that you know, you use the old stuff before you use the new stuff, kind of thing. And it's pretty relaxing. It's not that difficult. It's not that stressful. It's a little hard on your body, bouncing around a little bit, but it's really not a hard project or hard job to do. But I thoroughly do enjoy going down there, and I enjoy um, just getting down there and doing nothing but work and thinking about what I'm doing next. So until the next video, thanks for watching.